Hello and welcome to Blinkers Off. Great to be back for another show. And what a show we got lined up over the course of the half an hour. It's the preview of the Group 1 Tats Tiara, and what a great race it is, and an ending to the Brisbane Winter Carnival. And I'm joined by big-time footy coach Ben Perkins, racing editor Brad Davidson, and our racing reporter Lorena Tourman. Firstly, Ben, welcome, mate.
Jesse, how are you all? And
I'm very well, mate.
that's the spirit. And if you want to keep winning at the races, just join me on itips.com.au. Last week we tipped the quaddy Ipswich, paid nearly $4,000 for $100. Winners galore in Sydney as well.
You had Einstein in there too, did you?
Yeah, we had in there. It ran in the first four. Ran in the first four, and we won thousands last week. itips.com.au.
For all your losers. Now as well, I'm joined by racing editor Brad Davidson. Welcome, Brad.
Boys, good to be here. Lorena, good to see you as always. I think this is the only time I better make the most of this intro because I reckon it'll be the only time I'll speak today. I'm surprised you haven't started bragging yet about Brave Ali. Best bet of the day. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about it over the show.
Well, just funny you mentioned that. I just thought, just was talking to the director, and he just thought we just might cut a little replay from last week
I'm
of.
sure it was the director's
You're
Yeah,
kidding,
choice
mate.
there.
There's a horse called Brave Ali.
wait.
Mate, I've spoken to Muhammad Ali on the telephone. You blokes, you just read their names. I know these people.
Yeah, you think you know these people. All right, let's go to the replay.
It's replay time.
It's had 11 starts at the distance for 6 wins and 2 seconds. Yeah, you got to like it. You got to have something on it for sure. So I'm tipping Brave Ali as the best bet on the program each way. Well, there you have it, Lorena. How did you think of that?
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
Now there's plenty of racing news going on around the country. What's been happening?
There sure is. Shrikandi will not run in Saturday's Group 1 $500,000 Tats Tiara at Eagle Farm. Trainer Kirama was forced to change his plans when Shrikandi pulled up sore after track work this week, and now she'll be sent to the spelling paddock instead. Patrick Payne is set to carry on the work of his longtime friend and mentor Guy Walter this spring, with Jewel Oaks runner-up Zanbar having recently joined his Plumpton training base. Payne shared many successes with both Walter and Zanbar's owners throughout his jockey career and is hoping to continue their successful partnership and honour Walter's memory. And informed trainer Joe Pride has agreed to receive the late Guy Walter's main stable base at Warwick Farm. They were close friends and trained for years alongside each other. Trainer John Sargent is hoping Kiramosa will show the benefit of a lengthy spell when she returns to the track in a couple of months' time following a fetlock injury. The 3-year-old filly hasn't raced since her win at the VRC Crown Oaks in November last year, but Mr Sargent remains positive by drawing a comparison with champion So You Think, who also missed his 3-year-old Autumn only to go on to renowned success in Melbourne the next spring. Trainer John Hawkes has confirmed Golden Slipper winner Moss Fun returned to the Sydney stable on Friday after a break, and Mr Hawkes says she's matured and stronger. The stable is yet to lock in a plan for the rising 3-year-old spring campaign, but Mr Hawkes said she would be kept with the sprints, with the Group 1 Coolmore Stud Stakes at Flemington a possible target. Former jockey Pat Hyland blames modern riding style for the recent spate of falls, such as the one at Cranbourne 2 weeks ago, when 3 jockeys were injured, including Chad Schofield, who will be sidelined for months with a neck injury. He wants to see jockeys return to the old style of feet fully in the irons, as opposed to riding on the balls of their feet. Champion jockey Glenn Boss disagrees, saying they wouldn't be doing it if it were dangerous. And the Board of Racing New South Wales will be asking wagering operators to take bets from all customers to ensure a fairer deal for punters. Racing New South Wales Chief Executive Mr Volandis said there's been frequent complaints about wagering operators refusing to take bets, particularly where punters have been successful. Sounds like you, Jess.
Yeah, thanks for that. Very interesting point you just brought up there. Ben and Brad, we've been having this discussion over a number of times. I have been barred from a few bookmakers. Very interesting point that Peter Volandis has brought up here, that he's asking the wagering companies to take all bets.
Well, I think in theory it sounds wonderful, but how are they going to enforce that when they won't even give you an account again? Like people like you and me, we apply to Bet365 or Sportsbet for an account. They're going to say, no, you can't even have an account. So how they're going to enforce it, I don't
The only
know.
way they can enforce it is by the government making it legislation.
That everyone
That's
can
the
have an
only way.
account. Well, that sounds great to me, but I still say the only way it can ever work and get Australian racing back to where it should be is that the corporates must be made to stand up at the races and bet to win at least $2,000, and then everyone's going to come back to the races and watch people like myself run around and control the ring.
Well, there you go. Now, Bet Easy they've been taken over, and as well they've sort of making a promise that they won't bar people. So hopefully we'll see the new owner Matthew Tripp stand up and.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having dinner with Matthew. Hi, Matthew. I'll have the lobster.
All righto, let's get into it. Let's take a look at race 6, the Tattersalls handicap. A nice little race here, Brad, over the 2200. Sort of a, end of the campaign
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, it's a
feel.
pretty even race. Obviously, Tinto adds a bit of interest to it, not backing up, but going on after the Oaks, so it's a bit unconventional. But look, I went with Pretty Pins just for the fact that I thought the step back to 22 is going to sort of suit her. It looks like a race with not a lot of speed in it, so I think you've got to be up there, and I think she will be, and could be the one.
Now, just on noting that, we're going to take a look at Pretty Pins winning the start here at Doomben, and now we're just going to take a replay of Pretty Pins winning.
Then was Eights a Party who's been deep. Then Rayburn, Perfect Start, Arctic, Post Restorer, and Heartfelt Quest whipped them in. Heading down the side, 500 metres left to run. Brave Ali in front of Zadista off the fence to tackle her. Carmore is coming up deeper. Lauren Tater and Pretty Pin saving ground to the fence. Where's his favourite Dan Chai? Pulled wide by Rawilla. In the straight, Brave Ali led. Pretty Pin's got a saloon run through to come after and tackle her. They're followed then by Lauren Tater and Danchai down the outside. Pretty Pin's the leader. Danchai's trying hard. Pretty Pin shot away. Got a winning break. Pretty Pins is home. Pretty Pins beat Danchai. Brave Ali third. Lauren Tate fourth.
Yeah, there you see Pretty Pins, and Brad, like you say, she drew wide, and it was a good ride, and she'll be very hard to beat.
It was a great ride by Wiggo that day. It was sensational. I think Johnny Thompson said 11 out of 10. So when you got trainers saying that, you know it's damn good.
All right, now remember we've got the 2014 Hong Kong Racing Tours here. This is brought to you by On Track Racing Tours. It's a great travel destination, Hong Kong, and Grant Morgan and the team there do a wonderful job. I'll be going to the carnival on the 9th to the 15th of December, and I hope you can join us, and send me an email at studio@blinkersoff.com.au if you're interested in joining me on that tour. Now, Lorena, you just got something for the viewers as well?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big believer in retraining thoroughbreds, so they get a second career after their racing days are over, and this weekend it is the Thoroughbred Rehabilitation Trust holding a demonstration at Canterbury Racecourse starting at 10 a.m. on Sunday. It's only $10 entry. People can learn how the former racehorses are retrained, and there are horses available for sale as well. More info at nswtrt.org.au, so try and get along there. And also stay with us for a preview of the Tats Tiara.
Introducing Bet Easy, as Australian as minimum chips and a battered salad.
And to show what we're made of, we're putting $50 on Australia for all Bet Easy members on every match we play in Brazil.
Isn't it time we backed Australia? Australia?
Right away, we are back, and it's that time where we're going to preview the Tiara and the last leg of the quaddie. Firstly, the Tats Tiara and Ben. Great race, Group 1, weight for age. What do you come up with?
Hunna, hunna,
I've got one here.
hunna. Do you get that? What am I doing, Brad? Hunna, hunna, hunna. Do you know what I'm doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm doing an Indian. I'm doing an Indian rain dance.
He's doing,
Because-
I thought he was saying he's doing an emu impersonation
No.
in India.
I like the way that Avoid Lightning has been spread eagling the fields in Sydney.
You are the biggest hypocrite I've seen. Last week you were
I'm
spoken that
not-
anything that ran in the 17th start of a career is just a certainty. Well, hang on, there's one in this race called Platinum Rocker, and you're not tipping it.
It's got
and
the-
you're not tipping it. 17th start, it's got to win. According to you,
yeah,
it just has to. So what do you come out this week and tip something else?
Ladies and gentlemen, what dear little Bradley does not understand is that just because it's having its 17th start doesn't mean it's going to win.
Oh, that's what you said last week.
No, I didn't. I said when it has the form lines that are convivial to perhaps winning, then you go with the 17 starter. Now, having lost about $500 on Platinum Rocker the last 2 starts, I've got off its back and I'm going for Avoid Lightning because it's a horse in form and it's been really getting to the line really well. I know it hasn't got 1400 metre form yet, but there's one way to find out and take about $8-9.
It shouldn't have a problem.
But it still hasn't done it. But it still hasn't done it.
Pedigree suggests it'll get the 4.
Well, I suggest this
Unless
suggests
really
that.
11 to 14 pretty quick, isn't it? Up sharply.
This is still the races, but I'm going to go for it. I think Cosmic Endeavour is certainly the big danger. It's going to get a good run. The way it's been running on has been very impressive. Catkin's been working very, very well, and Steps in Time. My goodness gracious, if it's a leader's track, Steps in Time, it'll be leading.
It'll be leading all right, and there'll be one sitting right behind it called Catkins. Worked absolutely amazing Tuesday morning. I was down and watching, and I couldn't have been more impressed with its gallop. And on that basis, I'll be having a few dollars each way on Catkins simply on its gallop on Tuesday morning. Brad?
Yeah, I did speak to Chris.
Well?
Yeah, Chris was Chris Waller was very happy with the gallop, and kind of he said
Waller,
before it.
Please, Mr. Waller.
Chris said before the race, before the gallop, he actually said.
Benjamin, please.
Oh, he's a young man. He's got to treat these trains with more respect.
Before the race, before the gallop, Mr. Waller said that Red Tracer was, the best chance of his. But after the gallop, he said Catkins and Red Tracer were on level going. So he was really impressed. But for me, it's a race in 2, Red Tracer and Cosmic Endeavour. I think Red Tracer's the class in the field. Her run in the Stradbroke was better than it looked. She got back 4 wide without cover in a slowly run race and hit the line well. And Cosmic Endeavour's going to get the perfect run, and it's the danger. Steps in Time and Catkins, the other 2 class mares in the race.
My concern with Red Tracer, I think she's down about 20 kilos by looking at her. On the eye, I think she's down a bit on her best
I don't mind
racing
that though,
rate.
because she was first up the other day, so she's shed a bit of weight. And also, you got to remember that Catkins had a run for 2 months, and Steps in Time's in the same boat.
Yeah, well, and I wouldn't be leaving Angel of Mercy. Catkins and Angel of Mercy for me. Now we're going to take a look at race 8. This is a good race. Some nice horses going around here. It's over the mile. I found one here. I got one here for you. But firstly, Ben, have you had a look at the race?
Oh, I have. I've had a close look at this race.
Have you found any 17 starters?
No, but I did find Transporter.
Oh, yeah.
I thought its win last start was very, very convincing. And when this horse does strike form, it does go on with it. I don't think it wants too much rain around. So I think it's hard to beat. Queenstown, my old hometown, where I used to live, I thought it was pretty disappointing first up because, like Tromsø, always had its measure, and Queenstown never travelled in that run, and it was heavily backed. But I want to throw it in the quaddie at least. And Travolta, they put Nash on board, and I thought their blowout chance was Belle de Cour, even though it's unproven at this journey. It has been getting to the line pretty strongly.
Yeah, I like the way she worked to the line last start. Like you said, a bit of a query at the distance, but I thought her and Queenstown were probably the 2 to fight it out.
Now we're just going to take a look at a bit of footage here. We just mentioned Belle de Cour. She did run behind Tricandi. Tricandi's not running in the Tatsiara, but if she was, she would have been very hard to beat. But here we are looking at Belle de Cour. She's in the green with the white V.
It's a fair speed around the turn. Let's see what's in the tank here with Tricandi. Led from Northern Glory. Platinum Rocker looking for a runner. Then came Tukio. Belle de Cour coming down the outside. Jazz Song was under pressure. Tricandi in front with 100 metres left to go. Belle de Cour's running home gamely, but Tricandi in front. She is one heck of a filly. Straight to the line. Tricandi.
No, you saw her there, Brad. She did fly home, slowly run race. It was a good performance.
Yeah, that was, and I think she's done the same after that as well. So she's put in a couple of blinders, and she deserves to win one up here.
Now, I like one here called High Sun. Ironically...
David Kelly.
David Kelly,
yeah,
you are the president.
No,
look,
irony
the David Kelly fan club.
irony.
The David Kelly fan club, you are the president.
I'll tell you what, I watched it work. I had Grant in the next
Good
segment. But Grant said he probably thinks he can't win. He's 1 run off. I'm getting bagged here, left, right and centre. Now, this horse did win it on its 17th start, in fairness.
Oh, you beauty.
Yeah, there it is. But look, this horse is going to be 30 to 1, 20 to 1, 25 to 1 each way. It's going to be a great bet. It's drawn the 4. And I tell you,
It's a good horse.
it's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, it's a good horse.
At big odds, big odds.
Yeah, not knocking it.
So I'm going to have a little bit each way. Look, he's rising up in class. This is a class race. He's stepping right up to his best, but he'll be very hard to beat. And I'm having a little each way at 25 to 1. And just by the way, Dave Kelly, he might be going to Macau. So he might be no longer down at the coast.
So you might be going to Macau as well, eh?
Well, maybe he's a newsreader. My Chinese ain't that good. Righto. All right, it's time where I catch up with Grant Morgan in On Track. I'm joined by our form analyst, Grant Morgan. Welcome, Grant.
Great to be back, Jess.
Now, last week you went extremely close to the treble. First 2 seconds. Can you hit the treble this week?
Yeah, Jazz Song was fantastic last week, Jess. A little bit unlucky with Masthead and Architect, but no danger there each way, and the punter's got some cash. So we've got a bit to play with this week, I think.
Yeah, I think we do. We got the 420 on Jazz Song early with Bet Easy. Now, what's your best for the program?
Start off with Lime Hills in the 2-year-old race, Jess. We tagged this horse as a horse to follow a couple of weeks ago. It ran second behind Sports Edition on Stradbroke Day. It goes to the 1400 metres on Saturday. Paul Massara's targeted this race. He won it with Mahasara a few years ago. He's a colt, this fella, so he wants to get the black type. I think he'll be too good. The local horse, Home Hill, is a horse I actually bought as a yearling for some clients, named after the town Home Hill in North Queensland. So hi to Charlie and Jill Barber Gallo from Home Hill. It can run second. So the Hills in the 2-year-old race, Lime Hills and Home Hill.
All right, you're not bad at picking one. You also picked one called Brazen Bow, so there you go.
Long may it continue, Jess. There's a few slow ones though. We won't talk about those though.
Oh, there's plenty of them going around. I own a few of them. All right, now tell us what else do you like on the program?
Just one of your favourite horses from Sydney, Bonetta. Graham Beggs.
Class.
Yeah, look, she's a good filly. Graham Beggs taken the right route. He could have went to the Tats Tiara. I query a bit at the 1400. He's picked the Healy, 1200 metres. Firm track. I think it'll be getting more black type for the Sydney visitors, so that's Bonetta in the Healy Stakes.
Now, also, you like one out of Isabel mare in the last one of Gay's?
Yeah, saw it work at Eagle Farm on Tuesday. Gay's horses are really flying here over the carnival. This fellow is second up over a mile. Don't let that worry you. I shouldn't say fellow, it's actually girl. She ran second in the Yanks Quality, second up over a mile last preparation. So, as I say, punters, don't be worried about second up into the mile. Trialled twice and a good placing first up. I think Queenstown will be very hard to beat in the last.
All right, Grant, well, that's great. Hopefully this week you can make it a treble and the punters can have a nice little bit of pocket money for next week.
You're trying very hard, Jess.
There you have it. Now sit back. We've got plenty more coming up next at Sports Talk. This is Blinkers Off. It's that time of the show where it's Sports Talk. Righto, it's AFL talk. We're going to look at a few prices from around the country there. We've got the 2 games we're going to preview are Collingwood and Hawthorn $1.37. Looks to be a very good bet there. Suns and Cats, another game we're looking at. Geelong at $1.47. Bet Easy, Gold Coast $2.70. Firstly, Ben, Pies and Hawthorn. What did you make of Collingwood last week against Footscray?
Well, I thought Footscray was fantastic. They were really, really impressive. And I have said for the whole season that Collingwood are 5 players short of being a good side. Why people have rated them a premiership chance is beyond my understanding, because I've given Collingwood absolutely no possible chance from the beginning of the year. And they're not good enough to win the premiership or even be in the top 4.
What would you rate the problem at the club?
Mate, they've got a very young back line, and as the season progresses, they're going to be found out. They need 5 more players or 2 more years into these 5 players that they're short.
But they don't look to have any fluency or any rhythm in their game plan either.
Oh, mate, I think
seems very stagnant.
Mate, I think Nathan Buckley is going to make it as a coach. I just watch the way he smiles. I call him the crocodile, but I do like the way he can still laugh, and he's got that boyish smirk. My gut feeling is Buckley is going to be a very, very good coach.
All right, the other game we're looking at here is Suns versus Geelong.
But wait a second, we haven't even spoken about how Hawthorn's going to go this week.
Well, they're going to win. It's as simple.
Yeah.
Well, what more do you want to say?
Well,
What more do you want to go talk about?
Well,
what they're going to win? What more do you want to say?
That-
What else can we add to the fact?
that no one at Hawthorn will ever forget the sensational speech I gave before the last minor ground
here we
game.
go.
Before Collingwood got smashed. Before Collingwood got
Yeah.
smashed by Hawthorn, when
Get
I
over
gave Mick Malthouse one of the greatest serves of all time.
Righto, Suns and Geelong. Another game we're going to look at. Righto, Brad, Gold Coast Suns, you do quite a bit of work reporting down at the club.
Mate, he doesn't know the players. I know the players. I used to coach half these players. Jeez. You ask him about the Suns. Mate, please.
Come on. He's down there more than you. He knows a lot more than you.
No,
Please.
mate, he's over the fence.
Get over it.
He's
You're
outside
over
the
the
fence.
hill.
Mate, I'm inside the
Hey,
fence. He's watching on with binoculars.
If you're actually going to wear a set of glasses, get some lenses.
Look like you had a big night, Benny. You have a big night or something?
I've had a big life, Brad.
Righto, the Suns.
I was disappointed with them last week against West Coast. They just didn't turn up. For the first 3 quarters, they just weren't there. I mean, they come back, yes, great. It would have been a great story if they won, but they just weren't there. And it was really disappointing. And I think for that, I
agree
think
with
Geelong. I think Geelong are going to be hard to beat. $1.47. I wouldn't be backing it straight out, but maybe one to throw in your multis. I just think the Suns have just gone off the boil a little bit.
Yeah, I think maybe the preparation they're having the last 3 games, they're just starting to wear and tear and show a few signs of that.
Yep, they are. And look, I think they've got to win another 5 games to make the finals, and they've still got the chance to do that, but they've got a tough 3 weeks coming up, and it's probably going to show if they can or if they're pretenders or if they're going to be there.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Lorena, you're a Geelong supporter.
Yes, and I find it amazing that you Queenslanders know more about it than me as a Victorian. Where are they playing?
They're playing up here at Metricon.
Oh, we can still win.
Yeah.
You saw those odds. We'll win. Go Cats.
All right, there the Cats. Now the other game we're going to take a look at is the NRL. We're going to bring up a few prices here. We've got the Warriors and the Broncos game we're going to look at here over there at Smart Stadium. The Warriors are $1.54. 2's on, bet easy. I don't mind that. I think the Broncos are going to be short. The other game we're going to look at is Melbourne Storm versus Parramatta. Storm there, they look to be...
They won last Monday night.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. Yeah,
Astonishing, isn't it?
They beat the Titans and it sort of put the Titans on the back foot. They're going to be in a bit of trouble.
Aren't they?
They're struggling. They
I'll
are
tell you-
struggling.
I'll tell you,
They've
I'll-
just got Daniel Mortimer from East, the Titans, but he's an up and down player. He's in and out of form. I don't know whether he can maintain
They've been
that.
doing it for 4 years, though, haven't they? They promise so much and then they just don't deliver. I know they've had injuries and that, but I know the Gold Coasters are getting very frustrated, the public.
What I put it down to, I don't think the Gold Coast is a precinct that can develop a proper football club.
They seem to buy,
rugby.
don't they? They seem to buy a lot and try to get the quick fix. And
The Seagulls.
Yeah.
And Idris, Burleigh Bears, there's one for you. They're going well in the Queensland Intrust Cup.
But if you want to win on rugby league, there's one thing you have to do. Whatever you think is obvious, do the opposite.
Righto, the Warriors and the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Warriors here. This is a game that's in the balance. It's 11th play 5th. The Broncos, they're going to have a lot of players coming back from Origin duties. They're going to be tired. They then have to travel to New Zealand in the cold weather. It's going to be New Zealand a plus minus on 3 points, and they're on 14. This is a do or die game for the Warriors. I'm going to tip them for a slight advantage over the Broncos over there in New Zealand at Smart Stadium. The other game I'm looking at now is the Storm versus Parramatta. Here, this is a game, as we just mentioned, the Storm were very good against the Titans last week. They fought back. They play well down at Melbourne. They got the advantage, 10 home wins over Parramatta there. They're going to be a good value. Again, Parramatta are going to have Hayne and one of the few other Origin players that are on duty out. So I'm going to be tipping Storm. Again, this game is right in the balance, just like the Warriors and Broncos. And I'm going to have the Storm on top to beat Parramatta, who do have to travel down to Melbourne and take on the Storm. Righto. Do you follow much of Wimbledon?
Oh, not a lot. I do enjoy the tennis. Try to follow as much as the majors I can, but it's not a sport that I'm massively into, I suppose.
Now, Ben, we've got Wimbledon coming up. Do you eat strawberries and cream?
I love strawberries.
We're just going to take a look at a few prices here of Wimbledon coming up after Royal Ascot. We've got Novak Djokovic at 275, Andy Murray 425 there at Bet Easy. A few others down there. I don't mind Nadal, 550. He's more of a clay player.
I know he is more of a clay player,
That's
but he's
good
still,
value.
I think it's good value.
Mate,
for
he
sure.
won that. I backed him at $5 and had a few $100 on him when he won Wimbledon for the first time. That is good value.
I agree.
That's good value.
Yeah, good value.
He's a winner.
He is a winner, natural
winner.
born winner. The other game we're looking at is the girls' game. Serena Williams, Sharapova,
you can't-
Azarenka.
You can't trust women.
How's our own Sammy Stosur going to go? She's been a bit disappointing, hasn't she?
Yeah,
So,
she has.
in her lead-up games. So.
Have you got a big forehand or you're a smasher?
Oh, he's smashing you in a minute.
Yeah,
Get in the queue.
Righto, Ben, your best bet on the program?
My
Einstein.
well, no, 50 yards it would have won.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to go for value, no, I don't know.
Right, there you go, Brad.
Lime Hills, and also in the World Cup on Sunday, Bosnia. Very impressive the other day
Bosnia?
against Argentina. They were very impressive. And they come
Bosnia?
up against Nigeria, and they're going to be very hard to beat. So.
My team, I've back in the Socceroos, hoping they get through. I don't. It's 50-50 at the moment, line ball. But if not, Germany for me. Now, Lorena, your best bet on the program?
I'm looking at the Breakfast Hill Hotel Stakes, and I'm going for Lime Hills too.
Yeah, no, Paul Massara trained, as Grant Morgan mentioned, be very hard to beat. Well,
I've
that's
got
all.
one. I think Avoid Lightning might run well at about $7 or $8.
All right, there you have it. Well, that's all we have for you right now and tonight. Thanks for joining us, and join us next week at the same place, same time. This is Blinkers Off.